She was at it again. I spotted her through the trees that morning. Karen dragging my firewood across the property line, like she actually owned the place. Every winter, she always came up with a new excuse to take something of mine. Last year, it was my generator. This year, she had decided my stacked firewood belonged to the HOA. I stepped out from behind the shed, arms folded. Morning, Karen. Forgot to ask again. She didn't even look embarrassed. This wood is on community property, Mike. HOA rules say it has to be shared for neighborhood use. I let out a short laugh. Community property? Karen, that wood came from trees on my land. I cut it, split it, hauled it myself. She rolled her eyes and tossed another log into her wheelbarrow. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. You're not above HOA policy just because you live at the edge of it. I don't live in your HOA, I said, stepping closer. You keep forgetting that part. She straightened up, gripping the wheelbarrow like a shield. Everyone around here follows the same rules whether you like it or not. That was the moment something in me shifted. I'd tried reasoning with her. I'd filed complaints. I'd even shown her my property deed. Nothing worked. She only backed down when she was embarrassed. And this time, I decided she wouldn't forget it. That night, while the cold wind rattled through the trees, I got to work. I loaded my truck and prepared a little surprise. I hollowed out a few old logs and filled them with just enough black powder to make a loud bang. Nothing dangerous, just enough to shock. I sealed them carefully and stacked them exactly where she always stole from. The next morning, I sat on my porch with coffee and waited. Right on schedule. Karen marched over in her robe, muttering about HOA allocations, and grabbed a few of the logs. By the time she reached her backyard fire pit, I could already hear her bragging to her husband. See? If you take control, people learn respect. Then it happened. A sharp boom echoed across the neighborhood. Not an explosion meant to harm, just a loud crack that sent birds flying from the trees. Karen screamed, dropped her mug, and stumbled backward into the snow. I stood up slowly, hiding my smirk. My cameras had caught everything. Within minutes, neighbors rushed out. Karen started yelling immediately. He's trying to kill me. He sabotaged the HOA. I walked over calmly. Karen, you stole from me again. That wood was marked. Check the footage. Her expression changed the moment she realized I had proof. You can't record me without permission. Actually, I can. This is my property. You're the one trespassing. She stood there shaking, covered in ash, trying to salvage what was left of her pride. But I knew this was only the beginning. The real fallout hadn't even started yet. By afternoon, the rumor had already spread to the neighborhood. The guy on Pine Ridge tried to blow up the HOA president. That was Karen's version. Of course. She stormed into the sheriff's office covered in soot, acting like she was in a movie. I was still drinking coffee when two sheriff's cruisers pulled into my driveway. Deputy Sam stepped out, shaking his head. We knew each other well. Mike, please tell me you didn't do what she's saying. I gave a faint smile. Depend what she's saying this time. She claims you set explosive traps to intimidate her. I chuckled. Explosives? No, I just got tired of her stealing. So I added a little surprise. Want to see? Of course, he said. Everything on camera? Everything. Inside, I played the footage. Karen crossing the property line, dragging logs away. Her voice clearly saying she'd take what she wanted. Then the bang. Then her scream. Then her accusations. Sam watched silently. You didn't rig anything dangerous, right? Just hollow logs with a pinch of black powder. Loud, harmless. He nodded, almost laughing. Well, she's not going to like this. You didn't commit a crime. She trespassed and stole your property. Karen was waiting outside when he stepped out again. He's lying. He manipulated the footage. Arrest him. Sam crossed his arms. We verified everything. That's your voice. Your prints are on the wood. Her confidence cracked. So you're not arresting him? Oh, we're doing something, he said flatly. We're filing trespassing and theft charges against you. Her face went pale. You can't do that. I'm the HOA president. Doesn't put you above the law. She turned toward me, desperate. He's dangerous. He's ex-military. He knows how to make things explode. I nodded slowly. Yeah, that's why I made sure it was safe. Sam smirked. Smart move. Karen's panic grew. You can't let him get away with this. Sam's tone changed. I checked with the county. Your HOA license expired 2 years ago. You've been enforcing fake rules. Silence hit her like a wall. Her power was gone. And she knew it. Karen stood frozen. My HOA is real, she shouted. We have rules, members, meetings. Sam raised an eyebrow, then explained why there's no record. She turned to me. You did this. I shrugged. No, you did. You just pushed everyone too far. A second officer brought over a folder of complaints. Neighbors describing fines, threats, and intimidation. Sam flipped through it. This is more than a neighborhood dispute. This is fraud. Karen backed away. I was protecting the community. Or controlling it. I said quietly. Her face tightened. You think you're clever because you recorded me? I think I like proof more than stories. That's when the second cruiser door opened and a man in a suit stepped out with a case file. Ma'am, you're coming with us, he said. State Fraud Division. Karen froze. What? He opened the file. Photos, records, patterns. You've done this before. Fake HOAs. Extortion. Moving town to town. Her voice dropped. You have no proof. He glanced at me. Actually, we do. And now we have this footage, too. The neighborhood went silent as more evidence surfaced inside her house. Binders, fake invoices, cash envelopes, forged documents, fake county seals. Sam exhaled. She ran a full operation. Then I noticed a file on the table. Hollow Creek Ranch. My grandfather's land. She had been trying to claim it, too, long before I even returned. Sam looked over my shoulder. She planned this for months. Later, an elderly neighbor stepped forward, shaking. She made me pay her, she said softly. Said I'd be fine if I didn't. More stories followed. Same pattern, same fear. And then everything became clear. Karen hadn't been enforcing rules. She had been inventing them. Outside, she sat in the cruiser, staring forward as the sun dipped low. Deputy Sim spoke quietly. Without your footage, none of this would have come out. I nodded. I didn't plan to expose her. I just wanted peace. A week later, the courthouse was full. Karen stood in an orange jumpsuit, smaller than anyone remembered. The judge read the charges. Fraud, extortion, impersonation. Guilty, she said suddenly. A stunned silence followed. Afterward, standing outside, the sheriff looked at me. You handled it right. Proof over anger. I gave a small nod. That's all I had. Back on my land, the fake HOA signs were gone. The place felt open again. Quiet. I stacked a few hollow logs by the fire, this time empty. Just a reminder of how close things had come. That evening, an old neighbor brought pie. Feel safe again, she said. It was never really her power, I replied. Just fear. Later, as the fire burned low, I watched the sparks rise into the night sky. Everything she built had collapsed. Not because of force, but because it was never real to begin with. She thought she owned the land. But the truth was simple.